Flosstube. This is Belinda, Aussie Stitcher, coming to you on this 27th, I think, of June 2019. How you all going? It has been a wet and wild couple of weeks, which is awesome. No one actually predicted we're going to get this much rain. I think all up over 50 millimeters. That's nothing to sneeze at. Seeding is officially finished. And it almost feels wintry. It doesn't get to the minus here, it doesn't snow. And we probably all up get 3 weeks of really full-on cold weather. And then it's cold, but it's not jackets and jumpers kind of cold. Not a lot's been happening the last 2-3 weeks. Kids have been busy, they've had cross country. There's more girls in Sophie's class this year. So she came third, which I'm still pretty darn impressed. We've all been battling the cold again, and so I am pretty darn impressed with that. Michaela's got cancelled because it rained, so she'll run tomorrow. And Iona chose not to do it this year with her Graves. She's just finding it's getting a lot to run. Sophie's was 2,000 metres. So, you know, it's getting up there with the running. Speaking of Sophie, she goes away. Sorry, I've got a dog moving and I've got a pet lamb. And we've only got it for another couple of weeks before it goes up to the station. But we've got a pet lamb called Sally. And sheepdog won't hurt it, but it's just the fact that he's moving in that general direction. Sophia flies out on her school camp this Sunday and she won't be back until the following Saturday. Very excited for her. Busy otherwise, just lots of stuff happening, normal everyday family stuff. So let's get into it. When did I do my last Flosstube? Normally I write it in, but I don't seem to have written it in here. So these are, normally I do these pretty much in order, so hopefully they are, and hopefully I'm not showing you stuff that I've shown before. This one I'm not sure if I have or haven't, to be honest. So we're just going to give it another whirl, and I really am sorry if I've shown you this last time. So I worked on Enchanted Mermaid by Mirabilia. And I'm stitching this on 32 count Belfast Opal from Chromatic Alchemy, and I don't know the name. I usually... It's that name. Random place to have it, I know. So if I have a before pic and I haven't shown you this again, this is where she was, and this is where she is now. So from memory, I just worked in these areas getting the chronic and done, and all those spaces that you see are beads. She is going to be so blingy. I've got a bit of a shadow happening. So really enjoying that. The goal is to finish that next year. Hopefully next year. I also worked on touching the autumn sky. Oh, sorry about that, still a bit sniffly. Sorry if you can hear all the noises. It's my one day that I've had in like a week and a half where I have no kids because of colds and that, so I'm trying to get caught up on washing and cleaning, and so everything is going. So here is the pic for what it looks like when it's finished, and the before pic. And this is stitched on 28 count Joberlin by Dying for Cross Stitch, which is a Facebook group. There is no name for it, she does singular. And here is where I'm up to. Hopefully you're getting that. So I basically worked on back stitching up here, finishing off the following leaves, the foot and the dress. Don't know if I... Oh, let's have a look at the back. That's my back. I took 3 pieces to get framed in the bigger town the other day, and I'm getting the 2 Nora fairies that I did for Michaela and Iona, and I'm getting the Peridot fairy framed. And the guy, the gentleman, the really old gentleman who said that he's actually must have a run on cross stitches at the minute finishing because suddenly he's got heaps to do. And he's looking at my work and he's looking at the back and he goes, "This is so neat." He goes, "There's no travelling threads. I can't see threads. When I look at the front, I can't see the back threads where people have travelled." And he goes, "It looks so good." I was like, "Thank you," because I actually think my backs look pretty bad. So I appreciate that. They're certainly not as neat as other people's. But anyway, that's where I am. So this is on its way on getting finished this year. And then I worked on, oh, I've missed one. That's the one I missed last time. Then I did some stitching on, no, actually before that, I did some stitching on Enchanted Aurora. And I'm doing this, I was doing this for the semi-sane stitches. They have a monthly no counting, challenge where you just stitch on something with animals. So I chose Enchanted Aurora because I felt like she has missed out on love. And I'm stitching this on 32 count Belfast from Mermaid Tails and Angel Wings, or Angel Wings and Mermaid's Tail, I can never remember which. This is my before pic. And here is where I got up to. That's actually showing pretty good on the fabric. So I basically did no work on animals, but did heaps. Holy smoke, that was, yeah, there we go. On that dress, doing some leaves and some just back stitching around the leaves, which are a major pain in the rear end to stitch. Putting that out there. Ooh, loving this. So I'm really happy. I always felt this got this short change, but it was mainly due to the fact that the chart was coloured, and I have realised I really don't like coloured charts. So I have photocopied that into black and white, and it's made a huge difference. Right. Then we worked on, Fairy Tale by Gold Dimensions. And this is stitched on 16 count Aida, blue Aida, that I just got from 123 Stitch. This is my before. Actually, no, sorry. 18 count white Aida that I got from Spotlight. So it's just plain Zygod, whatever, Aida. This is my before pick. And this is where I got up to. I am so happy with this progress. Let's do the old foldy. Oh my goodness, that dark line. There we go. So I got a lot of her done and the bird. And I did a bit of back stitching around her face, and I did her nose like 4 times in different colours, and I didn't like it. I might have to message Stephanie from Also Miss Crafty, because I think she stitched this, and see what she thought. I'm stitching this in the the colours that came with the kit, and I'm just using a thread conditioner thing, whatever, to help with the going through, because otherwise it does shred a bit. I'm not very good with words today. This was literally, I've got 5 minutes. I really want to get this done because so much is more happening that I literally won't be back for another maybe 3 weeks. So I didn't get done today. Then I pulled out Earth Goddess by Joan Elliott. Now these, I should say, are either challenges for magical stitches, semi-sewn stitches, or Shell's cross stitch and journal group, which I think is closed. And I tried to cross, as you saw pattern, from one group to another. This is stitched on 32 count Belfast Opal from Mermaid's Tails and Angel Wings, or Angel Wings and Mermaid's Tail. This is my before pick. And this is my after. So I got a little bit more on the dress, and then I did a whole heap on that grass. So I've gone to the very end. So now I've got heaps of room that way. I'm down the bottom. And that is a really good representation of that fabric. And I forgot to show you in my last video that I had actually worked on Portrait of Veronica when I was doing mainly Mirabilia May. That's it. Not with the words today. And I'm stitching this on 32 count Belfast from Picture This Plus in a sterling, and hopefully I still have a before pick. And this is my after pick. I think that's the way it goes. No, I think I did this with one of the other whips. It goes this way. I am so winning today. So I mainly filled in the black and then did a bit of the other colours from memory. I could be wrong though. So that brings me up to my new start that I started for a friend's birthday on Sunday, the 23rd of June. I started Mermaid Queen along with stitching Noni for the birthday start. She didn't give me permission to say her name, but if she watches this, she knows who she is. So I was stitching this on April Showers 28 count Jobelan Steph's fabric. I don't know if it's the same. And this is where I got up to. And I realised this morning when I sat down to do 10 minutes of stitching with my coffee that I made a mistake right in here, which has thrown all of this off to the point where I have to unpick basically 90%. As I said before, I very rarely have to fog, but when I do, it's a lot. Like, it's a huge stuff up because I am a slow stitcher, but I do a lot of counting. Like, I'll do a little bit and then I'll count up to make sure that's lined and count here and down to make sure that everything is lined up and I haven't made a mistake. So I'm very slow stitcher. Words, people. Anyway, I wasn't overly happy. I didn't realize that there's so much greens in this mermaid and this fabric is quite greeny. And I am someone who likes to, it needs to make sense and flow. So I went through my stash and I found this grey, it's a bit more bluey than it's picking up. Yeah, like that. I'm thinking I will, where is it? Transfer onto this. And I think I'm going to be happy. I have done a floss toss. Yeah, that's it. And I think I'm going to be much more happier on this, a bit more sea, picking up all those greens a lot better. Unfortunately, it is what it is. I started it when I was sick and the kids were sick, but I wanted to really start it. I've been looking forward to it for so long. Yeah. Unfortunately, it happens, but I think in the end I'm going to be happier moving on to that fabric. And I think I might use that fabric for Butterfly Fairy that I'm going to start in July with Felicity. So that is all my stitching. Again, in case you actually read my blurb, I haven't shown you my Heaven and Earth. I fell off the 90-day challenge back when seeding started. Basically, I didn't realise how much of a routine person I am, and I get up at about 5:30 most mornings, and that half an hour is my waking up time because I'm not a morning person, and my kids need me to be more awake so that I can be, help them get ready for school. And I use that time to wake up and stitch. When it's during seeding, my husband gets up at 5 as well. So we basically had that hour of me helping him get ready for seeding, making sure he's got food, lunch boxes, coffee done, all the works. By the time he was walking out, the kids were waking up earlier to see him. So I just wasn't getting any stitching done in the mornings. And it was a couple of days before I realised that I hadn't stitched on it. So unfortunately it happens. And life goes on. Plans. Can't really plan because it's all up in the air and what Magical Stitches tell me what to do, and Sammy J Stitches and the journal group, which I actually haven't stitched basically in 2 days, bar that 2 stitches in Queen Mermaids this morning when I realised that I have goofed up. Very shadowy today. But what I have done is I've done some slightly forward planning. In my book, I've got the Magical Stitches July and August written out for their monthly extra credit. Then I've got just the homework for the next 4 weeks. It's actually a 5-week, but I've got room there. Then I got the cross-stitching daily journal plus the daily 30 spaces, so I can just write in what they're doing so that it's all in one place, because at the minute I have a bit in this book and a bit in this book, and I was getting confused. And then I got the rest on here, plus the semi-stained and any new starts. And of course I've just joined Jen Lee's 24-hour challenge group. So I've got, I think I'll do that on the back of this page, but I've just drawn up a very rough month. So 1 to 31, I'll do that for every month, whether there's 31 days or not, just to make it easier. I'll write the name here and colour in the squares how many days I stitched on it. But it's just so that I have a bit more of an idea of where I'm going, what I'm doing, what I've stitched on, and who's it for, and try to cross groups with my stitching, because even though everyone comments on how much I stitch, I don't necessarily stitch a lot compared to other people because of circumstances and the fact that I'm a slow stitcher, and I know I'm a slow stitcher. So I can't do whips, different whips for every thing. Not that a lot of stitchers do that, they usually cross groups as well. So I'll turn over and write generally 24 hours. She's got 3 or 4 challenges next month in the 24-hour cross-stitch group on Facebook. I think something like that. So, but when I was writing up all of these different groups that I'm in, there's one thing in common, and that is Sammy made me do it. Sammy J Stitches made me join all these groups. You know, like hand behind the back, twisting, telling me, you must join these groups. No, of course she didn't, but she sounded so excited and enthusiastic about these groups and what she does in them that it was so contagious that I just had to join them. So I don't know whether to thank you, Sammy, or curse at you, or yeah, but we'll go with thank you. I am enjoying myself. For the most part, this week was a write-off because I've been sick. And this video is probably not the best in the universe, but you know, life happens. So I actually got a bit of stash this week, this fortnight. I got Fairy of the Clouds by Joan Elliott. This is her latest release. And I also got Green Andorra, also by Joan Elliott. I think this is a release. She just recently did this into a chart. I was gifted this from Vicky from Reading and Stitches. She ended up with 2 of these, and while on Virtues asked if I would stitch it, and I was like, you know what, I think I would. So I'm not 100% sure on the back stitching and the faces, so that might. So thank you, Vicky. I'm going to look forward to doing that. Yeah, I don't know if the back stitching in the face needs to be slightly darker, but we'll see. I also got some fabrics from 123 Stitch because we are seriously thinking about going on our own farming, so I'm trying to kit up stuff that I have so that when I want to start it, I can. Apologies, that was way too big of a mouthful. So I needed 36 count fabrics. So for the Scarlet House, I have chosen this 36 count Morning Dove, which is a very pale mint colour, like, yeah, it's a bit like that. Like, it's a really, really pale green. Like, extremely pale. For Miss Mary Ann Bourne's Hands Across the Sea sampler with the bees, I chosen 36 count Tyco from Picture This Plus, which is just a very light modelling light grey, dark cream, which I think will go quite well with that. No, sorry. I got this for this one. That's right. I just totally got confused. I got this for this one. Picture This Plus for in the forest grew because I really don't like working on pure white linen. I thought that is quite a close, but the modelling and the slight colour won't overpower the beautiful colours. That was a complete mix-up. In Australia, we would all say that was a complete balls up. For the Farms of Hawk Run Hollow, I've got 36 count Winter Moon linens, which is a little bit more yellowy than what it's showing, but not by much. It's just a really nice pale. Gives it a little bit of extra colour. I also got 36 count antique ivory, yeah, which was a lot darker than what I was expecting. Um, 36 count bittersweet linen, which is like a mushroomy pink. And I did get the white even wave antique white that I was going to do the forest grew but it's just so white, and I live on a farm and 4 kids, and that just scares me on the dirt that will show up. I don't even like my kids wearing white clothes. One of them was supposed to be for this, but I don't know. I don't want to do the white, and I think the other 2 are a little bit too dark. I'm actually thinking of getting Morning Dew for this one as well. But these are now in my stash to use. Probably not the white one, that might get gifted to someone. Because you never know when I might need some more 36 count fabric. And I feel that's it. I'm sorry if this has been a bit disjointed and lots of words, but I really wanted to show what I've done and touch base, because I'm really not going to be here. We've got 1 more week of school, and that's the week Sophie's away. Then we're on school holidays for 2 weeks, and 1 week of that we're actually going away for a week, which we're looking very excited to. And then we come back for that last week of school holidays. And then Sophie's got another camp next term. She's going up to Coral Bay, which is north of WA. Just so much happening. Like, it's pretty busy, that I felt like, right, I've got a bit of time and I wanted to do this video. So I do apologise if it's on the interesting side. Thank you for all my new subscribers. Thank you for all the comments, the likes. I've noticed a couple of people commenting that never have, so thank you. I do try to respond to all of them. I've noticed a couple that I've missed in the last couple of days, so I'll try and get onto that soon. But thank you, I do appreciate it. I do try to comment on the people that I watch, but I have discovered that unless I finish the video, I don't comment. And sometimes I watch half a video and then something happens, I get interrupted and I go away and I come back and I start watching someone new. I think I'm going to have to do that watch later list and just, or write down, that might be a better one, write down who I'm watching, so when it, you know, if I don't come back for a day or 2, I can finish off their videos, because I've noticed that happening more and more. Yeah. But a big thank you again. I'm so happy to be part of this wonderful stitching community, and I'll see you next time. Bye.